afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday afternoon's game drive on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. It is me, Gareth, taking you on drive this afternoon, and we have Basil on camera and Wiem is on FC. I hope you've all had a great weekend so far, and maybe we'll end it with a bang on this game drive this afternoon.
One bull just gone crip, female and a calf fishing both southeast in the block, living unattended.
So there were 3 rhinos at Seskant Crip, a bull and then a cow and calf. That's what that radio was about. And then the 2 male cheetahs are on Kaya, so we won't be seeing them this afternoon. I'm going up Mamba Crunkleput, much to Basil's disappointment because of the bumpy nature of the road. And we're going to see what we can find. I heard whispers that Mabaibai and her cub were seen this morning somewhere around Lodge Pan, but I haven't had a confirmation on the sightings group of that, so I'm kind of unsure exactly as to where I want to go. I was quite excited, and then when I was looking on the sightings group, I discovered that there's nothing on the group about the whereabouts of Mabaibai. And then I kind of changed my plan a little bit, do a bit of exploring and see if she gets called in on the radio. But we'll head up there. I think I want to go west of the Deep Slurt this afternoon. It's not an area that I've driven that much, so we'll go up there, see if we can find anything. I know Victoria was driving here on Friday evening on the western parts of the reserve when you saw that black impala and some waterbuck on Antioch, and you had the false leopard in the tree. Hoping to find the Antioch female out here, perhaps one or both of her cubs. But we'll see where the afternoon takes us. It's turned into a lovely evening. I guess it's still afternoon. It will be a lovely evening. It was pretty hot around midday today. And what is normally quite typical about this time of the year in October are these really hot days, and they build up, and then we get these weather systems moving in. Good afternoon. There's one leadwood station on Blowbank, and then the 2 male cheetahs are on Kaya around Giraffe or Pamalanga Link. There were 3 rhinos around Seskant Crip. The female and calf moved southeast away from the crip, and then there was bull was just left there open lock.
Copy, thanks.
So yeah, we've got this weather system that's moved in. I don't know if it's going to bring any rain. We haven't got any forecast for rain. I'm just going to watch the road here as I throw Basil around on the back with all the rocks. It's only really this section that's rocky, hey Basil? It is just this section, otherwise I think it's quite a nice road. Just got to drive sensibly over the rocks. So yeah, these clouds have just rolled in. They made for some dramatic skies at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We had some giraffe at Giraffe Cam. If you were keeping an eye on that, you should see the giraffe there. And maybe you would have noticed the weather coming in. But it is pretty humid now. just see what we can find. A little bit windy. Can just feel the breeze.
Good afternoon, Jan going mobile on Kaya. Afternoon, Jan. There's two cheetah boys on the kill. Kaya on Dwarf link near Pumalanga track, and 3 rhino at Western Trip, and I think 1 Lietwood station on Blaubank. Copy that, thanks, Arno.
It will be nice if we do get some rain. The bush in general is needing it all around this area. Things are starting to get dry, the dams are dry, other than Sequay and I think Leadwood Dam and Hippo Dam on Kaya. Maybe it wasn't the only rocky section there, hey Basil. At least these sections are not that bad though. There's still more. Let's see who is joining us this afternoon. Hello to all of our Painted Dog Pack members. Carol, Elsa, Jennifer, Barbara, Mary, Michael Fleetwood, Jan, Christine, Betty. Oh, there's a lot in the chat here. Brian. There we go. Welcome to this afternoon's drive. I hope you've had a pleasant weekend. Now I'm going to go through and...
I've got 1 male rhino here on Lowveld of South Africa in Blaubank.
see if there's any comments or questions after I've checked out the names.
I've got another 4 at Wildlife Dam at the moment.
Ah, clocks have changed. It's amazing how all of a sudden you just gain an hour. Okay, Michael, I'm up to date with the chat. What has surprised me, if anything, most about Rietspruit? Yeah, we got some rhino tracks. Maybe no, they're not very fresh. Not fresh at all. There's civet tracks on top of them. So that suggests they were walking down here last night. Civets, nocturnal, active maybe in the early hours of this morning, walking on top of those rhino tracks, so we know they're not too fresh. I was about to say maybe the rhinos have wandered down to Lemondurin Krip and we'll see them there having a late afternoon drink. Let me just get over this little section. What has surprised me the most? Well, I'm still yet to see my bye-bye cub. I think that's pretty shocking, not surprising. I haven't seen a black rhino yet. Maybe I've seen a black rhino, but unconfirmed. But what have I found most surprising? What I do like about the Rietspruit are the mountains and how close the mountains are. They add so much beauty. Maybe what is quite surprising is just how many, well, you see white rhinos all the time.
Number 2.
Beautiful little drainage line. There's also lots of these little drainage lines. But I kind of knew that coming in. It's something that I did take note of when we first came on a drive around the Rietspruit with Brent. Oh, I don't know when that was, maybe 18 months ago. There's some giraffe tracks going up the road here. Maybe there's a giraffe at Seskant. Nope, there isn't. Well, there might be, because this isn't Seskant, this is Lemondurin. But that one of the things, Michael, when I first came here, I was surprised at the diversity. I thought there was a huge amount of diversity. I'm kind of waiting for all the trees to shoot their new leaves, and that kind of makes it a bit easier to start learning all the tree species, plant species in general. As we are at the end of the dry season, most things are not, I think most of the trees that I do not know around here have got no leaves, which doesn't make it easy to try and identify them. But that is what I did notice when I first drove around. Ah, hello Francie, welcome to this afternoon's drive. Saw you this morning, and now you can see me on TV. Sorry, it's not TV, I got corrected about that on like YouTube, which still plays on many people's TVs. Okay, I'm trying to make up my mind as to where I want to go. I think maybe, I've heard a lot about Skellum Savannah, Stony Track. Maybe we'll avoid that, having done Mamba Crunkle. Although there was a rhino at Seskant, so maybe we should go up there. What do you reckon, Basil?
Check out the rhinos and then make way to Skellum Savannah. Find a leopard.
Find a leopard. The thing is, if we come back this way, then we're going further away from where my bye-bye was, apparently, near Lodge Pan. Let's go and see if we can get that rhino at Seskant Crip. Maybe this evening we'll come back this way. It looks like some monkeys were having some fun here. I can see all the sorry, excuse me. I can see where their tails were dragging on the road. I wonder if we're going to get rain. The pressure has changed quite a lot. We're just going to pull off the road here for another game viewer. Or have they done the same? Nope, they haven't. Good afternoon, how you doing?
Very well.
All good?
What do you have on the front there?
It's just an optical illusion.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, how you doing?
We haven't seen anything yet.
Not. Okay.
We just came from Redwood.
Okay.
We looked at these, or we tried to see the rhino at Seskant, but they just went.
They move off. Okay.
Yeah.
All stations,
Good luck.
one Madodangala, that's to the Mati at Ibo Dam, 5 visual from the dam wall.
Yeah. All right, well, good luck. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Yeah,
Have fun. Thank you.
Okay, copy that. Just filling up for the contact with the bomber.
Negative, I'm at Ibo Dam.
So they try to see the rhinos at Seskant. Doesn't sound like they're there anymore.
Date of the cheetahs.
And now one of the male lions has been found at Hippo Dam. Everybody seems to be enjoying Kaya this afternoon. There's a duiker. Like I think I was saying just before we bumped into that vehicle, the pressure's changed.
Visual of female elephant and the young one. East of Lemantuara and Crip Reservoir. Static beating.
Elephant. Okay. It sounds like.
Can you repeat what you see?
Let me get this.
Female and young elephant.
Elephant.
East of,
So female and young elephant. So we know who that is. That is Mom and Cheeky Chops. Not far from here, so maybe we'll go there.
At the crossing of Lemantuara and Tescon Script, about 1 or 2 minutes out. Just coming.
So our stations will be keen to respond to those elephants. About 5 out.
Yeah, I can keep coming also.
Let's go see Cheeky Chops.
How many labor stations on the bank, please?
2 at present, Julie.
Sorry, come again, I didn't get a message.
Ooh, what's running there? Just check. Is it a warthog?
Leopard stations on Blaubank.
Okay, copy.
Is it a warthog?
Number 3, I'm entering.
Hey? I just saw it running across the road, I think. I think whatever it is gone. I just caught it out the corner of my eye as we were turning. Something ran across the road. It kind of looked like a warthog. Can't confirm there. Yeah, let's go see. If it's Mom and Cheeky Chops, I'm sure the rest of the herd will be close by. So let's go and see. We start our afternoon off with an Ellie. Michael, you said you finally able to do game drives. What have you been up to? It's been a while since I've seen you on the chat. We were just there. We went the wrong way. Okay, I can see the back of a vehicle. That means the elephants must be close. I wonder if they are south of Lemantuara in the thick stuff.
Good afternoon, all stations. Sergio Mobile on Leadwood, standing by for updates.
Can you
Good afternoon, Sergio. There is
There we
3
go.
labor stations on Blaubank. The only update is, from what I understood, 1 male lion at Hippodam.
let me do this for you,
with
Basil?
1 station on lock and some Ellies at somewhere around Lemantuara Crypt. Also 1 station on lock and 1 responding.
Cheeky Chops breaking some trees. And moving into the thicker stuff. Okay, just waiting for the other car to move. We can try and get a better visual. I was hoping they would all come out onto the road. But the other car has moved a little bit, so let's see if we get an angle in there. There's something crossing the road right ahead of it. Is that zebras? Impala. Impala. Okay.
Elephant on the Minturing Reservoir, moving south. The road eastern side of the reservoir, crossing that road southeast.
Okay, so we can go down Lemon Park. Apparently that's... I don't know if I've ever driven this road. See where they are and how far they will stay.
I'm leaving the log of this one Madodangala at the Hippo Dam, open log. Firefight visual from the dam wall.
Okay, there's the elephants up ahead. But it is thick and there's not many spaces for us.
Station with a rhino bow at Lowveld Dam from Colisi. So I just want to find out if there is any activity from the rhino.
Thank you.
Static.
Let's just put ourselves in here and we should get a nice shot.
I've left that lock, but the male was heading into a northern direction from the dam.
Alright, copy that. Thank you.
Stations on lock with Eddie's. Responding, I'm about 5 away.
They're not really going to stick around for us to view them too much. Ron calling, that reminds me, I've heard a few more of our cuckoos today. First time I've heard red-chested cuckoo. There's baby. Let's see. It's not a great angle through there, Bez. I'm just going to... Okay, welcome back everybody. Sorry about that little breakup. I don't think this road, we're just trying to get a better visual of where these elephants are, but I don't know if we're going to get a better angle on them. This road's taking us further and further away from where they are, and I don't think we're going to get a great view of where they've gone. Turn here. I was hoping that the road was going to go a little bit more to the east, but it's not the case. Because I think they probably had a drink at Lemondurin Reservoir and are now going off to feed. They're still standing there, Basil. You see them? Or they kept moving. No, I can't see them. They're just there, but it's so thick, and they've just started walking again. You can see Cheeky Chop's tail just through the thick stuff. Let's see where they. Nah, they're probably gonna come to camp tonight. What's the bet? The way they walk here. I reckon they're gonna end up at camp. They're going down towards that direction. Beerstepad. There goes Cheeky Chops. They could end up at Seskanpatsate. That's probably the way to go. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cheers. Alright. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get another view of them for a while. Maybe this evening we'll bump into them on the way back to camp. It was nice to get a little look at Cheeky Chops.
Station I'm leaving, well done, Dan. 2 vehicles in the lock, there's still 4 income vehicles you're wallowing.
Yeah. I think let's carry on. We'll go up Seskan, see if there's any rhinos, or should we go check? We're kind of close now to close-ish. Oh, little dwarf mongoose. Oh, it's just gone in that hole. Basil, you see that hole in the tree there? Oh, the mongoose has just gone in there. I don't know if you'll get it. Now it's above that hole. Go up. In the fork of the tree, it was. There we go. Little dwarf mongoose. What a cutie. These little mongoose are so inquisitive. At first they might scurry off, find a little place of refuge. Like this, it's a perfect little hidey hole.
Yeah, section 1 Elephant Poole, heading south towards Leopard Road.
Is that the elephant from Lemondering Reservoir?
Negative.
Scurrying around there looking for little insects under the leaf litter.
No one gave me a date, so where is that elephant bull?
Heading south along Leopard Road.
Okay, copy, thank you.
I wonder what it's going to find. Let's just sit here and see if it pulls something out. They go after insects in the leaf litter, scorpions, beetles. It's really digging with some enthusiasm there. What are you going to pull out? A burrowing scorpion. It's determined. Doesn't know where it needs to dig. Oh, it is. Oh, has it got something? No. Having a look around, making sure there's no danger. Oh, there wasn't anything to be seen there. Just one. I can't see any others nearby. Normally you'd expect them to be in a group. Let's see now if it gets more luck in that area. Maybe it did get something, we just didn't see it. Something small. Hello Liz, welcome to this afternoon.
Three mobile on Rietspruit. Any updates?
It is a bit odd to see it by itself.
Dwarf seems to be on the fifth radio station up.
Normally see them in at least sort of 8 or 9,
On Lowveld
but this one is
sightings of
all on its own. I wonder if it's maybe a
from the wood-dwelling reservoir.
dispersing animal. Although it looks like it's a fully grown animal.
Male lion at Hippo Dam.
As far as dwarf mongoose go.
And cheetah at southeastern corner of Kaya. Copy that. Thank you.
Stations. The elephants from Lemon Reservoir have gone southeast over Lemon Vark. There's no longer visual of them. Busy little mongoose. Haven't seen it pull anything out. Any little treats. Now quite often what happens when they're all foraging together, one may disturb a prey source and it goes scurrying and then the other ones catch them. In this situation, it's not quite happening. Hello? Yeah, they've just gone through into the thick stuff here. It might be worth checking bushveld. That's all I've seen, but I suspect the other females will be here, just ahead of them, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Good luck. Okay, cheers. Yes, Jennifer, they do. They are able to take on bigger reptiles, not just the small ones, big snakes. I've seen a group, I don't know, there must have been about 15 or 16 of them taking on a Mozambique spitting cobra. Unfortunately, when you're driving down a road and you see these things, it's often sort of last minute because they're in the long grass and you can't quite see what's going on at long distance, and by the time you register what's happening, you're quite close because they're right next to the road. And I ended up disturbing them and the snake got away, but it wasn't a small snake. I would say it was probably close to 2 meters, Mozambique spitting cobra. And the mongooses were taking it in turns, mobbing it, trying to tire it out. So they are quite ferocious little things. I've seen a group of mongooses, dwarf mongooses, taking on a scrub hare, a little scrub hare, but quite big, so I didn't realize the camera was back on me. I was busy checking things on my phone. And they ended up killing this scrub hare. It's quite an intense moment, probably one of the harshest kills I've ever witnessed out in the bush, but a part of life. And it's always interesting. There's a fly buzzing around my head. It's always interesting when you get to watch animals interact, which you don't necessarily expect to be interacting like that. But yeah, it's probably one of the hardest things I've watched. What else have I seen? Lions and zebra. Oh, not nice. Lions and buffalo, also not nice. Let's go up Seskant, go to Seskant Krip. It's that time of day when maybe we get rhinos coming to have a drink. Everybody says, speaking of kills, everybody says wild dogs, oh, they so nasty the way they kill, and I don't know. I think there's others that are worse than wild dogs. Wild dogs, at least it's over pretty quickly for the prey species or the prey animal. They're not in pain for very long, if they're even in pain because of their adrenaline being chased. I've watched buffalo being killed by lions, the young members of the Kambula pride a couple of years ago, and it took them about 2 hours. I think by then all the adrenaline is out of the body. And I've also watched Kambula pride killing a zebra, and I thought it was over, and it wasn't over. And that was about half an hour after they caught it. The zebra lifted its head. With wild dogs, they catch something and it's over within a matter of, I don't know, 5 minutes. 20 minutes, the carcass is gone, the wild dogs are moving off. This is quite nice. We've got a female giraffe and some guinea fowl. Guinea fowl scratching around in the rhino midden, looking for any insects that might be there. Yeah, pretty bird. But watching that dwarf mongoose group and that scrub hare was quite tough. It took a long time. Yeah, they will kill snakes. Betty, Jennifer. I think I can hear some more dwarf mongoose chatting amongst themselves in the fallen over tree a little bit across on the other side of these guinea fowls. So these are our helmeted guinea fowls. What is the other species of guinea fowl we see in South Africa? There's a little quiz question. Probably a very easy one, and I'm sure it's been asked a few times. But let's see who's the quickest to type in the response. Michael, what are you referring to? The pitch of the distressed vocalizations. The bellowing of a buffalo. The squealing of a duiker. There you go, Carol. Yes, crested guinea fowl. See them in northern Kruger National Park. Yes, I see them into KZN. But in this part, the Lowveld kind of areas, we tend to see them right up in the north of Kruger. I'm also yet to see them. But then they do go all the way down to Durban, KZN, where they are quite common. Yeah, Jennifer, generally when you're watching animals hunting and catching, you do want it to be over pretty quickly. And it's very disturbing. I mean, it's nature at its rawest. Nature is raw and wild. But when you think it's over and then you hear another squeal coming out of a warthog or a zebra, buffalo can fight back and sometimes they get away. But I guess warthogs do too, but once it's pinned, it's not really something that's, especially a lion, it's not going to get away. How pretty are these birds there? Such nice feathers, so different to other birds that we see. And their blue facial skin. And they're all scratching around with this rhino midden here, just off the side of the rhino midden. And the giraffe is moving off, Basil. I don't know if you can capture that for everybody. I don't know if, did we get it earlier?
Just a little.
There, that's quite nice and open. So unusual seeing a female by herself. The dwarf mongoose on its own, now a female giraffe on her own. Victoria had a nice long chat about giraffe on Friday afternoon's drive. She's been very vigilant as she's walking down here on her own. Doesn't have the support of the rest of the herd to have a look around. So she's being slow and careful. Male giraffe have a higher percentage, well, are killed more frequently by lions than female giraffe, and that's been attributed to them being on their own more often. Less eyes, less ears to hear lions coming. Be more vigilant if you're on your own, and keep an eye out for predators. And we know the lions of the Rietspruit do like a giraffe. Look how the guinea fowl is scratching there on the edge of the road, creating this nice little dust that pops up. I wonder if I should try and get a picture here. Let's see. There's not a lot of light with this cloud cover that's coming. Let's see. It's always nice to just sit and take in some of the smaller animals like this. These birds, such pretty birds. Oh, chasing each other. Still need to get a photo to feature in the key word of the week. Maybe next week's will be a guinea fowl if I can get something good here. And for those of you that haven't snapped up this week's high-res image of Andrews, the male lion at eye level, remember to do so. Today is your last opportunity. send through the keyword eye level to info@paintedDog.tv, and then we will send you that copy of that high-res photograph of one of the Rietspruit males at eye level. These ground-dwelling birds, you get the guinea fowl, the spur fowl, the francolins. This process of what they're doing here, scratching around on the ground, has an important role. They're obviously getting some insects or seeds that are on the ground. But the scratching and open dung opens that dung up. It helps the breakdown of the dung. Here they're just scratching on the ground, which means they might break open the top layer that's maybe a little bit crusted in certain places to get to insects underneath, and that just opens it up, makes it a little bit softer. Like any good gardener knows, you got to kind of prepare the soils before you put some, I don't know, seeds in for your lawn or anything like that. Kind of a similar thing, just breaking it up. Often the hoof action of antelope walking in an area does a similar thing, breaks up that hard soil sometimes. Allows the rotation of nutrients and minerals. So you often find around in Midden there's quite a lot of activity from birds as they scratch around in the dung for insects, break that dung up, cover more surface area, break up the top layer of soil, allows seeds to get trapped in there. We're going into a bit of the rainy season, maybe it holds a little bit more water rather than water running off the surface. So quite often some of your sort of holistic farmers, they'll send their cattle through an area, and then a little while after that they send goats, and then after that they send goats or sheep. After that they send chickens, and the chickens go and scratch everything open and spread it out and add the fertilizer to the ground per se. I don't know if I've got a nice photo of a guinea fowl here for next week's picture. This one close by could be quite interesting, but I am struggling for light. There is no light at the moment because of the clouds. I think if I can get one of these, it'll be quite a cool picture. But the trick is to capture it first, doing something. So it'll look good at the wall of everybody's house. There's also large patches of grass in the way. Oh, there's thunder. Thunder means there's lightning. You can hear it to the mountains to our west, south. There's two here. I was just thinking if a bird is featured in our key word of the week, and there was one since I've been with Painted Dog. There was Andrew's black-shouldered kite, black-winged kite now, sorry. Changing the names. Oh, maybe I got one. Let's see. Let's see. Please tell me. Oh, that could be good. That could be it. Oh, Hazel, I think we got the keyword for next week. Let's see. We can get everybody's opinion. How about that, everybody? Would you like that on your wall? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. We'll see. That would be pretty cool, I think. And now that I've succeeded in getting a picture that I think is worthy, maybe I've taken the surprise away from it for tomorrow afternoon when everybody gets to see the week's picture for the first time. Maybe you can vote now. I don't know if I'm setting myself up for disappointment. Let's carry on. It's nice to spend some time with the guinea fowls, scratching around, doing their thing, ecologically important. I'm trying to remember a research paper that I read a long time ago when I was doing my master's. And I don't want to mess up the finer details, but I might have to go and give it a read again and get back to you whether or not I'm correct. But I'm sure increased elephant presence in an area resulted in an increase in your ground birds like guinea fowl, spur fowl and francolins. As elephants disturbed a lot of the bigger trees and opened areas up a little bit more, there was an increase in numbers or presence of your ground birds. The idea with that is it's more open. There's lots of lightning here on the mountains, so let's see. We don't want to wish the rain away, but it does mean if it starts raining we'll have to cut the drive. But yeah, elephants opened up areas, a lot of trees getting pushed over, I guess a lot more insect activity coming out of the bark of trees, potentially elephant dung, a lot more elephant dung in an area. I was going to get the finer details of that, but I'm sure that's what it was all about. The moment of truth, comments on my photo. Ooh, nobody's commenting yet. Well, there, thanks Mary. Carol. Oh no, Di. Good to have you with us. We were just talking about the change in time. I'll make a note for next time if there's any changes in time. And we must put a thing on our socials, I think, just to remind everybody that the times are changing for you, not us. We don't ever have to change our clocks, which I think is quite nice for us. But good to have you with us. Hello, Mom Ruth. Hello, Rosemary. There's definitely a storm brewing here. We're zigzagging with each other this afternoon. Let's see, Basil, you can capture. Let's get to Seskant, Krip, see if there's anything drinking there. And then have a look at the storm. There's a lot of lightning now. Woo! That pressure's definitely changing quite quickly. Where it normally comes from isn't so dark. That's kind of where it came from this morning, before drive, earlier in the afternoon. Not this morning. This morning was clear. We're talking about the cheetahs on Kaya. There's a duiker, but it is dark. But it's coming more straight from here, sort of straight west of us, rather than south. I remember from my time at Mala Mala, what you'd often see happening is the storm coming along the mountains, because we're quite far away, that side in the Sabi Sands, Mala Mala area. And you'd see this lightning storm like this time of the afternoon, and then it would come back and attack you from the north almost. So I wonder if that's going to be a similar case now. There's a storm sort of coming more from the west, from us. Haven't quite experienced that yet. The other night when we did have a bit of rain, between 3 and 5 mils, we're sitting here at Seskan Krip, I think just on a normal afternoon out. It might have been a Saturday, and this big lightning storm came in and we had a bit of rain that night. Let's see if anybody's here. All right, it seems like there's a liking to that photograph. It looks good on the back of camera. We'll see what it looks like on the computer screen. I'll have to put it on and have a look at tomorrow morning. There's a little steenbok that's quite nice. Let's see if we can get that, Basil. Quite far. There we go, that's cool. That could be another interesting photograph. It's not often you don't see steenbok covered in the grass. Little male, see those sharp little horns? He's kind of gone behind the trees for you, but I'm parked up right against the bush here. Kind of watching his back here. Oh, there's a duiker walking towards him. That's what he's watching. If you can see that duiker, Basil, it might walk into a nicer area for us there. Going to come in the open or not really? Not really. Nope, they've both. The duikers are so not really. The little steenboks run off now. I don't know. You'll have to see. He kind of moved, and as you can see, I couldn't really go forward here to get it better into view for you all. But it's not often you see them relatively relaxed on this sort of open stuff. Normally they're in thick grass, and I don't know, I've always had this thing of trying to get a picture of a steenbok and never really succeeded because of the way they do blend in really well, or there's always grass in front of their face, or the fact that they just run away. Woo, big lightning. Are we gonna get wet, Basil? It seems to be rolling in. Sometimes there's a lot of activity and not a lot of water. But it does look like it's coming in for us. Yeah, Seskan Krip. Another vehicle's just driven past it, so I don't know if we're going to see anything. But maybe what we can do, I don't know if you've got much of a view with that duiker, is let's see if we can get an angle here with this darkening sky, with the mountains as a reference point. There we go. So Basil's exposure is quite high so that you can see me without light, but it's a bit darker than what you can see on your screens. Every now and again I feel like I can feel a raindrop. Well, it feels like there's a raindrop, but I don't think, maybe it's the start of something. But it seems to have already kind of missed us. It seems to be moving north along the mountains to the west of us there. Might loop around. Where to go? It seems like all the lions are in Kaya. It seems like the male cheetahs are up that side. Where should we go? How far do we want to go from camp as well? And that's the other question with this rain about. Lodge Pan might be risking it if we're going to get some rain to try and look for those cheetah. Although if we do get cheetah with these dramatic skies, it could be quite cool. The rhinos went from here southeast. I mean, I doubt they would go to Lemonduri. No, what is it? Kudu Krip for a drink. Haven't had one here. So that's the way the storm's moving. It's kind of moving through the sky like this, forward. And there's the Krip. It's quiet. Basil's gonna go beyond me. So the rhinos were all drinking here earlier and then they've gone off that way. Everybody finding a hidey hole to stay away from the rain. Just so quiet. Maybe we just do a water run this afternoon. We go to Kudu Krip, we do a big loop, we come back and check here, then we go through that way back to Lemonduri Krip. See if we get a wandering leopard. It's quite nice and cool after a hot day. I'm sure if there's anybody moving around, they're going to be moving around now. Let's go check the water sources out. One day it will happen. We'll find a leopard. And then you may not recognize me because I'll probably lose my mind. I don't know who I was telling, I can't recall. Maybe it was Francie this morning. Or it was Francie when she was last in the Kruger, she saw a leopard. And I said it's the first time in the last, I don't know, 7 years that a family member has seen a leopard before me, like since I've seen a leopard. This is the longest period I've gone in the last 7 years without seeing one. We were very privileged to work in Leopard Central at Mala Mala. Sometimes you take these things for granted. Although I was pretty cognitive of the fact that it was, when you leave a place like that, you can expect to not really see the secretive cat of Africa. It's a beautiful shepherd's tree at this angle like this. It's already getting dark and it's only 25 to 6. A little female steenbok. She was uncomfortable, so I just kept driving. I think if we had stayed with her, she would have probably run away anyway. Let's see if we can find those rhinos. They did come this way. Maybe they'll pop out here somewhere for us. Basil, are you having a look? Who's going to spot the first rhino? Me or you? I think we're going to have a bit more of a night drive this evening due to this cloud cover. Looks like some kudu walked down the road.
Kevin getting mobile in the update.
Kevin will probably go and find my bye-bye and her baby pretty quickly. It's going to be, I think, when we get, Victoria and I only go on leave. Oh, is that a rhino dragging its... It looks pretty consistent. There's like a drag mark on the road. I thought maybe it was a rhino dragging its lip. Or is it a drag mark? Yo, it's tough. There's hardly any light. But this looks like... Are you focused on me? This looks like almost like a drag mark because of... I think it is a drag mark. So the reason, I don't know if you can see with the light, it's going quickly. But there's a constant drag, and then there's these kind of little marks that follow it where the legs have been dragged. I don't want to walk here. I can't see any tracks of a predator just yet, but it's such difficult light right now. But it's sort of... I want to go back to the road. I first saw it on the road, I thought, oh, it's rhino, there's rhino tracks. But I think this is a drag mark from a predator. Try and see if there's any tracks to indicate to us if it's a leopard or a hyena. But I think it's probably a leopard that's caught something more in the open that wants to get it to a thicket. And now I'm walking straight towards the thicket. I'm sure this is a drag mark for a leopard. It's gone off the path here. I can see where the grass is flat. Need to just check at the base of these trees. It's quite thick through there. I'll go around that side and just see if we can find a carcass. I'm sure a leopard would have long gone. A lion would have already given me a hard time. Maybe we'll find a carcass at the base of one of these thick, sort of more thickets here. I'm waiting to hear something growling at me, which will be a good indicator that I've gone a bit too far. Can't see anything in these trees. The ground is quite hard. I can't really see that drag mark. Man, I really want to find a carcass in here. I can't find a drag mark. It's quite dark. Oh, here we go. I've got the drag mark. Oh, there's... I think you can still hear me. I am far from the car. Yeah, so as it drags it further down towards the deep slit. I wish I could show you this fur that's under this tree. It doesn't look like there's a carcass in this tree. There's just fur on the ground. I'm sure it's probably a leopard. It may have dragged this carcass further. It has. Might have had a small feed here. Now it's dragged the carcass further. I'm trying to see if there's tracks in the soil. Maybe it's the fact that I've left my phone and my Bluetooth is too far from my phone to hear TeamSpeak. This is so good. Maybe I was too far. I don't know. I'll find out now, I guess. If you could hear me that whole time.
You were too far.
Did I go too far?
Yep.
How far did you hear me? Because I left my phone, so I didn't have my TeamSpeak. I don't know, how long ago did you hear me?
Just when you said you need to connect to your Bluetooth, that's what we...
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, so there's a thicket here that I suspect a leopard's gone to. It's plucked the fur off of an impala and then it's dragged it further. So I just want to check my map to get an idea if it's going into the sun slit, and then maybe we should make our way towards it. I reckon we do that, Basil. Oh, it's quite far, but I think that bend, because it's dark, I don't want to carry on walking, but this is good. I feel like this is the closest I've been to finding a leopard so far. Hopefully, the clouds are rolling in. I don't know if we're going to hold connection in the riverbed, but let's go. That drag mark hasn't been driven over, so nobody's driven over it. The animal might have killed it. I kept following it, and it's going towards the bank of the river. So we'll go into the sun slit, it's right here, and see if we find something. I think it's a relatively fresh kill. Just the fact there's not a lot of tracks on top of the drag. There's a herd of impala here. Maybe today sometime a leopard killed an impala. Look, here's a herd of impala right here. In the thicket, dragged it towards the riverbed. Ooh, I'm excited. Come on. Here's a nyala bull. Let's get around to the river. I know where it is, although it is quite far for us to drive in the river, and we don't know about connection, but I feel like this is the closest I've been to finding a leopard. I didn't want to walk too much further with it getting dark. Also, walking into a predator with a kill is not the most ideal thing. But at the base of the tree there was where the fur had been plucked off of a carcass, an impala. And then it dragged it further. Maybe it could hear a car coming and wanted to get further down into the sun slit here. Sorry? No. Let me try connect to my, I think I may have disconnected from. Hello? Not getting anything. Yeah, my earphone's disconnected. There we go. Yeah, okay, 5x5. Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm so close to a leopard. Probably 10 minutes away where we are currently. We're not too far from Kudu Krip. Like maybe 10 max. Is that fine? It seems like the storm's going north of us. Do we have four-wheel drive? No. No. Right, everybody, the storm's getting a bit closer now. We just are a little bit worried if we get too far, and I don't think our four-wheel drive's working in the Jackal to drive in the sand. That would not be clever in this moment. We're so close. Maybe I should walk with a torch. I should not, it's too dark. Have to come and look tomorrow. Try and find the leopard in the morning. Hopefully it doesn't lose its kill. I just think driving in the sand now, I don't think our 4x4 is working properly. The lights have been flashing all drive. Driving in there, getting stuck, and then having a massive storm come overhead is probably not going to work too well for us. So close to a leopard. So Basil, you lost me just on the edge of range, eh? Oh, big lightning, big lightning. It's definitely getting closer, the storm. I want to have a look at my map. Okay, so in terms of a leopard, I didn't see tracks. Unfortunately, I didn't see any tracks here. The ground is, once it went off the road, is quite hard, and I drove over it, the drag mark initially, thinking it was a rhino dragging its lip, and when I looked on the game trail that it dragged it towards, I could see it continue, and that's when I went to check. And then there was that clump, that thicket not too far off the road, and that's where I was hoping that it had dragged the carcass and we could find the carcass, and then we knew, or we would know that there's a leopard there. But just the way the fur has been plucked off the carcass and dropped, and then the carcass carried on being dragged, I would 100% is probably a little bit too much, Gareth. 99.9% say that it is a leopard. Got an impala carcass. We see the impalas here. The leopard's just on the other side here, or that drag mark rather. I can feel a few raindrops now. And then in this area, yeah, the Fitgat males might be a good option, Michael. But I didn't see tracks, so it could also be a female, smaller stature, closer to where the drag mark has gone over her tracks, rather than a male that's a little bit more spread out as he's carrying a carcass. But I think it's pulled it down towards the river. But with this storm brewing and us trying to get into the sand, it's definitely not a good option for now. We'll just go back to the corner and see if maybe we can try and drive in here a bit. Now this is where we were, hey? See, at the base of this here is where that fur is. Let's try it. There's a big game trail that we can try and follow. And just see. If it starts to get thicker than this, we'll have to turn around. This is where you saw me coming back from. Just see if I can show you from here the fur. It's at the base of that tree next to this one. And then we'll just follow this game trail and see if we can get far or a glimpse. It's getting to that time of day where a leopard might hang around. So at the base of that tree is the fur. Have you got you got a good angle there? Let me go and I'll just show you. I'll get a stick and pick it up. So this is where I walked from the road, and this is where I first saw the hare, and I was hoping that there was more carcass here, but there isn't. But Basil, can you see me all right? So here's the fur of the impala, if it stays on the stick. So there's all the fur of the impala. You got that, Basil? So there's quite a lot here. So I suspect this leopard came, fed in this area, was thinking of just keeping its carcass here, but then it's dragged it out through this way and further down and then around. So we'll just see if we can follow this game trail and maybe we get a glimpse. Maybe it hasn't gone all the way to the river and we can see, because that game trail is really big, but the storm is closing in, everybody. And if it does start to rain, we'll have to cut the feed and protect the camera, just so that you are aware. But let's see, let's follow this game trail. This is where I walk down. The drag mark goes off that way and then kind of intercepts this game trail. Oh, how cool would it be to get a leopard? This is where I think I lost range with everybody. It's getting a bit thick. I'm not going to be able to drive in here. And the storm is getting close. See, are we on the bank of the river? Let me just see. Just want to see if this is the river or if it's one of these little drainage lines. No, it's one of these little eroded sections, isn't it? Yeah, we're not going to be able to drive much further here. I don't want to be defeated. Okay, it hasn't come this way. But all these thickets on the edge of the river are going to be prime. There's still a lot of light, so I'm not too worried just yet. Just trying to see if I can find that drag again. I'm still light enough to see. But yeah, we're not going to be able to drive in here. I think what we'll probably try and do, since this is the closest we've been, is try and come here in the morning and follow that drag mark. If it doesn't rain too much and we lose it, come here. The drag mark was a little bit further away down there. I was just hoping this would be a good gap into the area, but it's very thick and it gets eroded and we're not going to be able to drive. Oh, so close. It's also just too dark now to go wandering too far from the vehicle, so. It's broken. Oh, it's for the piece. And one of the antennae is hooked on the tree here. I can't see it, Basil. Yeah, I think if it was here, it would have been here at the base somewhere. Okay, let's make our way out of here. Where's a good gap? Through these quarries. Probably our best bet. Maybe tomorrow afternoon we'll be sitting with a leopard on a kill in here somewhere. It's somewhere here, and I'm sure it's gone down towards the river. Oh, if this storm hadn't rolled in, I would have been able to walk a little bit more. That's where the drag mark came down. This is where I showed you the fur at the back. And it's river. So close, so close. Okay, let's go down Kitty Crip, check. Or maybe, no, let's go to Seskant Crip. If there is a leopard here and it's had a kill, maybe it wants to go and have a drink. Let's go, Seskant Crip's quite close. We know where that is. Tomorrow we're going to go and have a look. I know Victoria and I are going to go and search and search. But the storm, ew, did you see that lightning on camera? Let's go check Seskant Crip. Maybe we get somebody coming for a drink, maybe the one with this carcass. We're not too far for a leopard to walk. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let me catch up with the comments. Yo, there's a lot of lightning, everybody.
I just heard it starting to rain south of the manor house for those who are far away. Copy that, James Palume. Yeah, it's reaching us the people there as well.
Yeah, we're gonna start coming back there. This storm is looking a bit intense. Okay, everybody, we're gonna start making our way back towards Hayes. The rain is almost ominous at this point, and the other factor is the lightning. It's getting more and more aggressive. So we'll just have a quick look at Seskant Crip, and then we're going to start making our way back towards camp. I'm just having a look at the map. It's not far at all for a leopard to come and have a drink here, especially with a kill. You should see the lightning on the camera now as we're driving towards the storm. If we do have a torrential downpour, it's going to be hard to follow that drag, but I have a good idea of where it went, that drag mark. I have a good idea of where it went, and if it's not raining tomorrow, we can go and have a look for it before the afternoon drive. But I am confident that we have a leopard on an impala kill made today, which means it should still have it tomorrow, unless it loses it to a brown or spotted hyena. The lions aren't anywhere near. Ew.
Also leaving the Girino's,
Can you see that lightning, everybody? Basil, are you seeing it?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Beautiful. It is beautiful. But it's a little bit intense, if I'm honest. Let's see, come, be here drinking. Be here drinking. See, that drive wasn't too far. A little bit closer here. What's that? Duiker. Ow, I just saw something moving quickly away from the waterhole. Nobody here having a drink. Just a little duiker. And there's an intense electrical storm brewing on the mountains there, just north of the Rietspruit. Sign in the road ahead of us, kind of where we had that duiker earlier and that steenbok. So it might be one of them. It looks like an antelope. It's at a distance there. So we're going to get closer to camp, just so that we are close if we need to call off the drive. But stay with us. We've got 25 more minutes. We're just going to head closer to camp. I said I want to really be out in an open vehicle like we are with an electrical storm overhead. Not the safest and brightest thing to be doing. Another duiker. Nice little duikers. Maybe we'll find or bump into the elephants. I just want to go back and look, follow that drag mark and look. It's nice to kind of know the range on this new mic we've got. It was pretty good then. I just should have taken my phone with me. I thought I was going to find a carcass at the base of that tree instead of a bit of hair. That was enthralling. Hopefully whoever it is doesn't lose the kill tonight. I can start to feel raindrops falling on my head. It's coming over the top of the mountains there. Oh, there's a rhino, I think. There's a rhino basil off to our east here. Looks like a male. Somebody's getting away quickly, but let's stop quickly and see. We're not far from camp now. Should. Got him. Just gonna move over for this car that's coming and probably get you a bit of angle. Or not. Deciding to walk. Yep. Yeah.
It's fine. Their bus coming this way, so.
Cool. Cheers.
And there's two drinking at the before.
Okay. Thank you. I can feel the rain, everybody. There's a nice rhino. Look at that dust he's kicking up over that log. Scent marking. This is a nice way to end our evening drive. I'm just going to get to some comments while we sit with him, but it is raining. Well, it's not raining yet, it's a couple of drops, but it's pretty ominous. Let me just go through the comments quickly and get to them. Okay, I see hyena or even the cheetah boys. I'll get to that. Okay, we're going to keep driving now because the frequency of the raindrops are quicker and the lightning's pretty intense. Hello, boy. So the cheetah boys are on Kaya. The lions are also on Kaya, and just the nature of the drag mark and the fact that there was hair plucked in a thicket area is really typical of leopards before they open it up. You see, when they've got a fresh kill, what they do is they take it somewhere where they feel like it's protected, and then they pluck the fur on the rump. And that's where they typically would first open up the rump eat that nice tissue, and then for their next feed, they'll open it up and get to the internal organs generally. So that process of plucking fur is it's classic leopard. Lions generally rip it open and get to the good stuff, and you would have seen blood in the area, especially where that fur was. Hyenas, same thing, just rip it up and get as much as quick as possible. Normally when they drag, it's not a full carcass, and they're not going to pluck fur. They're not going to really worry about it too much. They'll often just open the carcass up. Whoa, this lightning's getting intense. They'll open the carcass up right there and just eat it. So the fact that it dragged it maybe 30, 40 meters, then plucked fur, there was no blood, and then dragged it further, for me, yeah, my money, and I was confident to say that it was a leopard. Cheetahs also, they generally catch it and they eat it quickly where they are because of being pushed off of carcasses by bigger predators like leopard or hyena, lion. They want to eat as quick as possible. They're not really going to take their time dragging the carcass very far. They normally drag it to the closest bush so that it's protected from the sky, so vultures can't see it and start descending, and then that draw attention from your other carnivores like leopard, lion, and hyena. So all the evidence suggests leopard. There's an owl, spotted eagle owl flew low over the road. Yeah, the storm is building all around us. It's now in the south as well. Good thing we're not too far from camp now. So yeah, leopard, all the signs are pointing towards leopard there. Oh, there's a big giraffe, sorry. And the fact that I didn't see any tracks, I kind of am inclined to say it's the female, so kudu krip 2-3 in this area. Okay, everybody, I'm going to drive quicker. It looks like it's coming over the mountains quite quickly now, that rain. We're only 5 minutes from camp, but I am afraid I think we're going to have to call this 10 minutes early or so. We don't want to get caught up in it. And when it comes, it typically comes quickly, these weather systems. And I think it was caught today. There weren't tracks on top of that drag mark. There was no vehicle tracks on top of the drag mark. So I think maybe in the middle of the day, that leopard caught one of those impalas. That herd of impala was also quite close. And let's go. And the first thing the leopard did was get it to a thicket where vultures wouldn't have been able to see it. And then maybe as it started getting thicker with the weather coming, it moved it more towards the drainage line. The leopard would know I'm close to a road, vehicles might come past and disturb me here, so get it closer to a drainage line where there's less activity. There's impalas through there. Oh, the wind is picking up. VM. I think let's call it now. I'll close up. The wind is picking up, and I think it's best for us to get back to camp. Okay, everybody, the storm is coming in pretty quickly, so I think we're going to call it now so I can just focus on getting back to camp. The wind's picked up as well, so I'm going to switch that off. We're not far from camp anyway. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm sorry that it's been cut short a little bit, 10 minutes, not too bad. There was a bit of excitement, and hopefully tomorrow we can find a leopard that's caused that drag mark. But for now, I think we need to get to camp, get out of the storm, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Mm.